happy to welcome Gary Spinnell, and you're going to talk Seahawks, but first you want to talk Sonics.
Yeah, we got Sonics, we got a little everything. We got boxing, we got Stars, we got Sonics. Tough night for the Supersonics. They opened the short two-game road trip with a frightening, great word, a 36-point loss to the Utah Jazz. The final was kind of ugly, 127-91. They call this guy the mailman, but you don't need a stamp for that kind of a bucket right there. 23 points for Karl Malone. Daryl Griffith had 16. Nice jump shot, Daryl. Tommy Chambers had 22 points for the night. Only 22. That's kind of a drop-off for what Tom's been doing. There's two of them right there. Remember, the Sonics will play the Suns right here on Cairo TV. Friday night, we'll have the game for you at 6:30. Other NBA scores tonight look this way. One of the LAs had to win here. The Lakers did, 126-92. Phoenix, the next Sonic opponent. Winners tonight over Atlanta. It was Denver down in Chicago by a point. Dallas, a big night over Sacramento, as you can see. Cleveland is 4 better than Portland. Without Sampson and Olajuwon, Houston beat Indiana tonight by 4. It was the Knicks losing to Boston 101-90, and Milwaukee beat Washington 122-103. Well, about 14 hours by my wristwatch or so until the Seahawks clash with the always tough Dallas Cowboys down in Texas Stadium. Now, the Cowboys have quite a record, winning on Thanksgiving Day, 14-4-1 overall. The Seahawks have their hands full.
What we have to do is just go out and then keep pressure on Pallur and being able to contain Hershey and Tony Dorsett, because they are great backs, and they create problems for everybody, but we just have to play together as a defense.
Sometimes when you have a hole through their defensive line and their linebackers, their safeties are right there to plug it up. So in a lot of respects, they support the run like a Kenny Easley does. So we've got to handle that to make our running game effective.
Of course, now playoff hopes are on the line for both teams. And the Cowboys, well, they'll play well down at Texas Stadium. They must keep their hopes alive as well as the Seahawks.
Yeah, and we definitely need this game. And I believe our group will pull through. But there's another situation also. Seattle needs this game awfully bad also. They've had a loss of the last 5 out of 7 games, and they're a good ball club. So Chuck Knox is definitely going to get those guys ready.
It's a good thing for us anyway that we're playing on Thanksgiving this time of year, because the way we've been playing lately, hopefully that trend continues, that we play well on Thanksgiving.
Turkey Day football, always fun. Kickoff time tomorrow, 1 o'clock on Cairo News Radio 71. So if you're out traveling to Grandma or your aunt's house, we'll have the game on Cairo Radio for you. There's a full slate of high school football tomorrow down at the Tacoma Dome. 5 semifinal games in all, and we'll have complete coverage and scores on Eyewitness News early and late tomorrow. Well, Tacoma was certainly the place for all your sporting needs tonight. The Stars were in action down at the Dome, and there was a great boxing card, and we have video of both. Watch this kid play soccer. That's Jungle with the ball, and Preki, this kid can really kick the ball in the back of the net. That gives the Stars a 2-1 lead. And watch him on this one here. Watch Jungle by the net leap over the goal by Preki again. But this one coming up has to be my favorite. As you see the celebration, look at Gary Heel hit the ball up off of the glass, bicycle the pass back to Preki, and the kid is there for the goal. Unbelievable. Stars win it 6-2. Keep your eyes on the screen. Watch this shot by Brett Summers right on the snoot. Alfonso Jimenez goes down. The referee comes in. There it is. Chris Smith, a great shot. Our cameraman with a super shot of the knockdown tonight. Brett Summers KOs Alfonso Jimenez. In the main event, by the way, Robert Shannon loses to Greg Richardson. The decision just in 12 rounds. It's a split decision. So the USBA junior featherweight title remains with Greg Richardson. Summers tried to wrest that title from him tonight, but no such luck. How's your nose?
No. Can I look now?
Yeah, you can look now. Wasn't that something?
Oh, I don't like to see that stuff. I know boxing fans love it, but...
Cover your face. Golly, that's terrible.
Thanks, Gary. Just ahead, the dilemma many face the day after tomorrow. Where to find the gift for that Northwest touch?
Pacific West, it's not all work and no play. How about basketball or an indoor running track? If you like aerobics, they've got the program. And now's a great time to join Pacific West. They're taking $100 off all memberships, and you'll ski for 25% off at Pacific West Ski Resort at Hyatt. This is the best part. See you at the club.
Till Monday, you get it all at Sound Ford. Escort $62.91 plus 3.9% direct from Ford, $3.9. And get this, over 250 Taurus, Aerostars, and Rangers, all 5.9%, $5.9 plus Rangers $63.91, or lease for $112 a month, just $299 down. Taurus and Aerostar, $181 a month. You get it all. 3.9% plus low prices on 500 new Fords. Till Monday only at Sound Ford in Renton with service loaners for life.
This year, send a gift that everyone loves. Delicious apples from Washington State. Each box benefits Children's Home Society of Washington.
Well, the folks who are off in Dallas watching that game or who watched that game today had a nice treat for Thanksgiving.
Golly, that was fun. You know, it's just kind of sinking in now. You realize what a great game this was. What a fun day for all Seahawks fans. Pretty much given up on by most Seattle media, I know, and a lot of the Seahawks fans. They played a great game, and Chuck Knox called it one of their best games in their history. The Hawks beat Dallas 31-14. Dave Craig and Kurt Warner were just plain outstanding. We have the highlights to prove that. Now, raise your hand if you thought Dallas would run away with things on this drive. Tony Dorsett scores 7-0. The crowd loves it. The drive took 9 minutes. I thought the game was over. It's 7-0 Dallas when, boy, Dave Craig goes to work. Fires this completion to Byron Franklin. That nets 24 yards and sets up Seattle's first score. Craig does the honors. The quarterback draw play. Look, he's almost all alone there. A 7-all tie. Second quarter, Seattle takes the lead for good when Craig goes back. Hits his buddy Largent in the end zone. That's the 136th game he's got to pass. 14-7 Seattle. Then they score again. They scored on the first 4 possession. That makes it 21-7. Byron Franklin caught that one. Late in the game, here's Kurt Warner just running wild. 3 carries. He nets 40 yards. The entire defense after him there. And again here, he nets 16 yards. You getting tired, Kurt? Next play, Warner again for the score, and Seattle wins 31-14. Well, how about it, Coach? Are you impressed with your number 1 runner?
Kurt Warner just did a great job. You saw him. He won the ball there, 10 yards, 15 yards, 16 yards, and took it in the end zone on those 3 straight plays. And we had good push. Our offensive line did not stay any job tonight. I don't think we gave up the sack, and they were getting good push off the line of scrimmage.
I was hitting up in there pretty hard, bouncing off some people, staying on my feet for the most part, hitting and spinning, just getting up in there and running. I didn't think about it. When you get tired out there, you don't think very much. And when I get tired, I don't think about it. I just do it.
I just fall over, Kurt, but what a great day they had. Well, the other Turkey Day game was a cooking affair, stuffed with excitement and crammed with very good plays. And we got the very best for you right here. Green Bay wins it on this play. They were behind by 3 when, look at this guy run. Walter Stanley takes the ball this way, and then he goes that way, and everybody's chasing him downfield. But this guy turns on the jet, and he is gone. 83 yards is Stanley. Final again, Green Bay 44, and Detroit only had 40. Well, some college football on this Thanksgiving Day. It was number 1 ranked Miami playing their regular season final game against East Carolina. And with Heisman Trophy candidate Vinny Testaverde standing there after he fell off his motorcycle yesterday. Can you believe that? This guy, Jeff Toretta, comes in relief of Testaverde and throws 3 touchdown passes. Miami wins it 36-10 over Carolina. Now that sets up a Fiesta Bowl showdown between the Hurricanes and second-ranked Penn State. They'll get together January 2nd in Tempe, Arizona. And ninth-ranked Texas A&M wrapped up a Cotton Bowl spot with a 16-3 win over Texas. That, too, today. The Aggies meet Ohio State New Year's Day down in Dallas. Well, it's been a busy place today. 5, you can count them, 5 high school football playoff games. There tonight was the AA and AAA action, and we have the highlights of both, beginning with Burlington's win over Tumwater. 6-2 was the score. Sound like a baseball game. There's the only touchdown of the game. Greg Saunders does it for Burlington. Now we switch to AAA action, a great game. Juanita is in this game, and boy, are they the AAA defending champs. They get off on a good foot right here. Darryl Cloud. It's Mark Peterson with a touchdown pass, and it is 6-0 Rebels. Brett moving the ball. Watch this. The tip ball goes up in the air and is grabbed by Mark Davidson, who carries it the rest of the way into the end zone. It's 13-0 Juanita, but Renton's got a few laps in them. They get on the offense. Corey Peterson connects with Butch Williams right here for the touchdown. That makes it 13-7. Juanita's still ahead. But a bit later, Perkins and Brian Cox team up, and Renton takes a 14-13 lead. But the final, Juanita comes back and takes it 22-14. It's back to the King Bowl for Juanita. Other games played today, the B8 game, it was Manson losing to Crescent 42-40. The B11 on Alaska 24, Adna 6. And Linden Christian in the A game beat Tenino 14-0. Sonics, they had the day off. They'll be in action tomorrow night with Phoenix. We'll have the game for you right here on Cairo News, Cairo TV. It'll be on News Radio at 6:30.
All right, very good. A pretty good day of sports.
What a grand day. Isn't that fun?
Mm-hmm.
It was.
Thank you, Gary. Now let's go to Harry Wappler, and it was a pretty good day in the weather department,
It
wouldn't you
wasn't
say?
bad at all. After all the Thanksgivings we've had here, Susan, with rain and snow and what...
Cross CPR. That's why the Red Cross offers classes in life-saving CPR right at work or in your community. Learn how to save a life. Call your local American Red Cross chapter.
Pacific Northwest Ballet's spectacular Nutcracker. Choreographed by Kent Stoll and designed by Maurice Sendak, Newsweek magazine called it one of the most remarkable Christmas productions in the country. 22 performances in the Seattle Opera House, December 9th through the 24th. Get your tickets now at any Ticketmaster outlet. Pacific Northwest Ballet's Nutcracker, Seattle's holiday tradition. Don't miss it.
See how your favorite teddy bears come to life tomorrow at 4:30.
Gary Spinnell with sports. Gee, you think I could try out for one of the teams now?
Yeah, you'd make real good. You'd be a punter.
With my
You
cap
oughta
on,
see
I've
this
got
foot.
my foot weighs about 10 pounds worth of plaster.
Get it up here on the table. Let everybody see.
I couldn't get it up here on the table.
Weighs
Thanks
about-
anyway.
Weighs about 6 tons. I'm staying away from her all week. Two of the teams, the Seahawks, are battling for a playoff spot one today. Cincinnati beat New England, while Kansas City upset Denver. Now, the day was filled with outstanding efforts. So to simplify that, just outstanding plays. You want to see what I mean? Take a look at this effort by James Brooks. He's running on the sidelines. Here come a couple of Patriots. They got him. No, they don't. Look at this. Now, watch the battle here as he just bulls his way with a little help from his friends into the end zone. Cincinnati beat New England. I said the Chiefs beat Denver. Todd Blackledge the pass, and look at this super catch over the defender by Jeff Smith. Indianapolis Colts won their first game of the year. The block punt does it. Then here's the winning scores. They pick it up and run it into the end zone. The clock is ticking down, and watch the new coach, Ron Meyer, on the sidelines. Hey, did something that Rod Dahar couldn't do in a whole bunch of games. The Colts are on the board. Doug Flutie, with some help from his friends, watched the pass by the little guy, and Walter Payton makes a super catch. The Bears destroy Tampa Bay. Another great pass and catch. Watch this one. Phil Simms to Phil juggling McConkey, but he makes the touchdown catch right there. Another good pass and catch right here. Mark Malone of the Steelers hits Louis Lips, and watch Lips battle the defender. The straight arm, and Lips is into the end zone for another score. The Rams are quite a threat now with Jim Everett. Look at this spiral. Perfect pass into the end zone. Henry Ellard is there, and he makes the catch. Super plays. And this is Tom Landry being escorted off of the field under armed guard because he was threatened. Life-threatening threats tonight in L.A. They took him off, brought him back with a flak jacket on. So Landry returned to the game. Here's the scores today. Kansas City over Denver, as I said. It was San Diego beating Houston 27-0. Cincinnati down New England 31-7. Cleveland over Buffalo. That final was 21-17. Miami over the New Orleans Saints 31-27. Minnesota down Green Bay. The final 32-6. The Giants, there's the big win over Washington 24-14. Indianapolis, they won a game by 5 over Atlanta. St. Louis and Philly tie at 10. Pittsburgh beat Detroit 27-17. The Giants, check me on that, the Jets were beaten by San Francisco 24-10. Chicago, they had a big win over Tampa Bay, as I said. And tonight, on Sunday Night Football, which will be Monday Night Football with ABC, the Rams beat Dallas 29-10. Now, as I said, the Seahawks take on the Raiders tomorrow night in the Dome. The Raiders have a one-game edge on the season series thanks to the big play. And these two guys teaming up, Jim Plunkett and Dokie Williams. The big play, Coach Knox says, that's something we've got to stop. Now, this game means a lot to a lot of people, especially Seahawk receiver Steve Largent. He doesn't have to worry about the big play. He's got to make some.
Things help to make this game a lot more exciting and a lot more emphasis placed on this game. The fact that we won and the fact that they lost, and then again on top of all that, it's on Monday night in the Kingdom. So it's gonna be a real highlight of the year for us.
Should be a great affair tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. The Raiders and Seahawks. Huskies got 24 points from Chris Belt today as they hammered Grambling State in a non-conference game. 97-64 was the final score. Sonics are off until Wednesday when they take on the L.A. Clippers down in Los Angeles. 2 games tonight in the NBA. Lakers continue to roll. They had no trouble. They beat Golden State 132-100. And despite Gerald Henderson's tying shot at the buzzer, which sent this game into overtime, Portland beat the New York Knicks 107-104. Well, here are the top finishers in a road rally held down in Olympia this weekend. The race decided the World Championship. The 2 top finishers are from Finland. The third-place team, 10-time U.S. champion John Buffum. Buffum's third-place finish is the highest finish ever for an American in a World Champion road rally. The 850-mile race began in Tacoma and finished in Olympia. The speed's around 130 to 140 miles an hour at times of Champaign. And there's Mr. Buffum then. Congratulations, a third-place finish for him. Over at the arena tonight, the Thunderbirds beat Victoria 6-5 in overtime. But the big story here is 16-year-old Glenn Goodall, who scored 5 of the 6 Seattle goals. Goodall is only 16 years old and certainly destined for stardom. He has had 20 goals in 14 games. The Thunderbirds have now won 2 in a row and 3 of their last 4. And, of course, every time you go to a hockey game, you get into a little fight. But Goodall was just fabulous tonight.
Another young hockey player.
Yeah,
right?
5 of 6 goals tonight and 20 in the last 14 games. Amazing for that kid. 16 years old. Young enough to be your son.
That's awful. Seamus, be nice to me. Maybe you should explain about my cats. I had a little foot surgery, and I've been out for a few weeks.
We've known that. For 8 weeks we've been missing you.
Yeah. And I think you're going to be nice to me since I just came back, but not a chance.
No, not a chance. I never would.
Well, nice to know you're
Maybe
still
he
safe.
will be. I don't know. He's new. Maybe he'll be nice to you.
He is John Collins. So John Collins is going to step up next with the weather. Says if you want to see any sun, don't blink tomorrow. John's forecast coming up. Plus, we'll have some vivid recollections of the day the Japanese took the U.S. by surprise and bombed Pearl Harbor. Stay with us.
The story the jury is going to be out on for about a year. After several quiet days of the baseball meetings down in sunny Florida, the Mariners today got a little bit busy at the bargaining table. Now, Gary Spinnell has that story.
It is, without question, the busiest day the Mariners have ever had at the bargaining table. In 3 separate deals, the M's hope they have not only bolstered but built a strong starting pitching rotation for next season. In the biggest deal, outstanding prospect Danny Tartable will go to Kansas City. In return, the Mariners get 23-year-old top prospect Scott Bankhead. A control pitcher, Dick Williams, wanted Bankhead badly. And pitcher Steve Shields will also come to Seattle. Bankhead will join Mike Moore and Mark Langston as the M's top 3 starters. The M's have similar hopes for left-hander Dennis Powell, also ticketed for the starting rotation. To get Powell, the M's peddle left-hander Matt Young. Young was Seattle's top reliever last year, but with only 13 saves. Seattle also receives second baseman Mike Waters from L.A. In a separate deal with Kansas City, the Mariners get outfielder Mike Kingery. Kingery will play right field. Known for his hustle, the question here is whether or not he's an everyday right fielder. To get Kingery, the Mariners traded minor league pitcher Rick Lucan to the Royals. Gary Spinnell, Cairo, Eyewitness Sports.
Let's be redundant, but now you can read it. Matt Young then goes to the Dodgers.
Aim high. Air Force.
Pearly White, tomorrow at 4:30. Well, everything went Seattle's way today. All the teams that had to lose to keep Seattle's playoff hopes alive did lose. And Seattle behind a great day by Dave Craig. He just rolled it up today. 4 touchdown passes against the Chargers, sometimes porous defense. And the Hawks beat San Diego 34-24. Watch here. David goes back, and look at the catch by Steve Largent. How many times has he done that? That makes it 10-0 after a Norm Johnson field goal. After the Chargers score, Dave Craig goes back and really lets this one fly. Get the arm all greased up there, Dave. Downfield, Darrell Turner is there. And this net, 72 yards, good toss and catch. Seattle leads 17-7. Now, just before the half, look at the time ticking down, 12, 11, 10. Kellen Winslow makes a touchdown catch, 17 all going into the dressing room. Fourth quarter, it is David again, this time on the money to Steve Largent. Look at this catch and concentration. Got a different angle for you. Watch how Steve readjusts himself to the ball over the shoulder. Now he gets hit. The ball just about scoots out, but he's got it. Hawks lead 27-17. The Chargers score again, but here's where David puts it away. The touchdown pass to Ray Butler, Dave's fourth of the day, and Seattle wins it 34-24.
David Craig was very, very sharp, particularly in the second half. I don't remember him missing a pass in the second half. And our offensive line, they fought and battled up there, and Paul Skansky makes some plays. Raymond Butler comes in, makes some plays. Of course, Steve Largent's there all the time. And defensively, we kept clawing at him. When you're going against Dan Fouts, you can't ever score enough points. See? So he just keeps coming back, comes back. But just a great win for us, and I'm just real proud of this football team.
They got a good defense, and they were trying to eliminate the run, and we just burned them down the field. So, when they try to shut down one thing, we're good enough to come back and compromise and compensate for it, and that's the mark of a good team.
They've got an outstanding offensive football team, and we were trying to slow them down, and, we can't take all the credit because I felt like our offense that kept us off the field, made those long drives. They're the ones that deserve all the credit for this game because they just did an excellent job.
Well, now, as I said, all the teams that had to lose did today. San Francisco beat New England. That was good. Cleveland beat Cincinnati. That was good. And Kansas City upset the Raiders 20-17. Boy, the Raiders were in trouble from the start. The Chiefs take a surprising 17-zip lead when Jeff Smith scores. The Raiders battle back. Marcus Allen's got the ball. He runs in for the touchdown. They trail by only 3 at 20-17. Now, late in the game, the Raiders are driving for a potential winning score, but Napoleon McCallum fumbles. Look at Jim Plunkett trying to get the ball, but the Chiefs got the ball. They've got the ball and are going the other way. Well, the Raiders do get it back, and on the final drive, disaster again. Plunkett was picked off numerous times today by the Chiefs secondary. They've got a super defense. This is Kevin Ross with a return right here as the Chiefs beat the Raiders 20-17. Here is Cleveland beating Cincinnati. Watch this pass. Bernie Kosar on the money to Webster Slaughter, and Slaughter's into the end zone as Cleveland beats the Bengals. And this had to happen today. San Francisco had to beat New England, and Joe Cribbs helped out with a touchdown run. Now, this is some fun stuff coming up. Watch. Harry Carson stalking his coach, Bill Parcells, because the Giants are in the playoffs, and every time they are, Parcells gets doused. Oh, that's cold, but he sure takes it nicely. What a good-natured guy. Coach, congratulations. Here's the scores today in the NFL. Seattle over San Diego by 10. There's the Raider and Kansas City score, as is the New England-San Francisco score, and Cleveland's win over Cincinnati 34-3. Miami pulls it out in overtime with a touchdown pass from Dan Marino to Super Duper. It was Philadelphia over Dallas 23-21. The Giants are all wrapped up and into the playoffs. Houston stops Minnesota from clinching a playoff spot today. In a battle of the Bays, Green Bay is the winner. Indianapolis wins their second in a row and beat Buffalo. And finally, New Orleans continues to have a pretty good year under Jim Mora. They beat Atlanta today 14-9. Now, will the Hawks make the playoffs? The bottom line here is they must beat Denver next Saturday in the Kingdome. And 2 of 3 other teams must lose. They are Cincinnati, New England, and Kansas City. If that happens, Seattle will gain a playoff spot. So 2 of the 3 have to lose. Here's who they play. Denver will play Seattle in the Dome. New England will play at Miami, so they are not a shoe-in there. The Jets have to go to Cincinnati. The Bengals are in tough, and Kansas City in tough with the erratic Steelers. They haven't had such a good year, but have been tough lately. They'll play Pittsburgh next week, so we'll follow it for you. Now, before we leave the subject of football, watch for Jim Walden to resign as head coach at WSU tomorrow and accept the same job at Iowa State. Looks like Jim will leave the Cougars and go to Iowa State. We'll follow that story for you also tomorrow on Eyewitness Sports with Wayne Cody. Stars had their 8-game winning streak broken tonight. Dallas beat them 4-1. Godfrey Ingram scored the only Stars goal. And one game in the NBA, Sonics were off. Portland beat Dallas 134-100. Don't forget the locker room show. We've got more interviews with the coach and all the participants in the big win today over the San Diego Chargers by the Seahawks.
Boy, those Indianapolis Colts, they just coach charging at the end of it.
I mean, they're in danger of losing Vinny Testaverde now. They can't do anything right.
2 in a row. That's how many for the season?
2 and 12 now they would be with, no, they're 2 and, 13. What are they, 13?
2 in a row, they've now won 2.
2 and 13, yeah.
Okay.
2 in a row. On a roll.
They're on a roll. Too bad the season's over.
Yeah, it is.
Thanks, Gert. John's weekday weather forecast coming up, and then a report inspired by tonight's movie, Thomas.
They cheered themselves hoarse during today's play. Now, that doesn't mean that there weren't a few quieter moments. Denver kept their fans on pins and needles throughout the first half.
I think if they can make the playoffs, they're going to go a long way. They're hot right now, so I think they're going to do good.
So the momentum's going to...
I think I'm momentum.
The playoffs are a big question, and many are confused by it.
Happening here. I'm sorry. Kansas City has to lose, and it was at Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh has to lose.
No.
Two teams have to lose.
That's all that counts.
Which teams I don't know, but I want them to lose.
She's correct. Two teams have to lose.
Who's on first? That's the question.
We'll try to clear it up for you, and we'll show you highlights of the great game today in about, 10 minutes.
House dress shirts, belted dress slacks, or college sweatshirts for casual class. Shop for your kids and save on the entire selection of health checks and fleece activewear. Dress shoes for him, shoes for her with a silver trim. There are great gift ideas for you on sale now at Fred Meyer.
35 million times a year, we lay down our brand on the West's best directory. U.S. West Direct, publisher of the West's best yellow pages.
Well, the pieces of the puzzle continue to fall into place for the Seahawks, led by the 192 yards rushing by Kurt Warner. That was just today. The Hawks won their 5th game in a row, and now must hope from the other guys that they kind of roll over and fall down and lose their games because, boy, Seattle needs help. Seattle won today 41-16 over Denver. We pick up the action with this guy, number 28, as we said. He had a fabulous day. It is Kurt Warner running in and out and through the Denver defense. He gets away there. Somebody grabs him by the shirt, drags him back down. That's about the only way they could stop him. He runs into the end zone here, and Seattle takes a 10-0 lead. And he comes back here after a couple of field goals and runs some more. But Denver does get the ball and finally get some points on the board. Look at John Elway, the perfect pass to Orson Mobley. Seattle leads 13-10. Now the teams head for the dressing room with Seattle on top 20-10. That's after Darrell Turner caught this one behind the secondary. The second half, third quarter begins, well, the way the other one ended, with Dave Craig lofting the ball up, and there's Darrell Turner, and Seattle leads 20-10. Now, the next two scores are by Kurt Warner. Look at him up the middle for the score, and this one he nets 60 yards on. He gets by everybody in that front line of Denver, and he is gone. Downfield, look at that tackler. Out of the way, get out of my way. Kurt's going 60 yards. After the game, we talked to him for his reaction.
We've done all that we can do as far as making a comeback, getting ourselves back on track again. At least I think we have some respectability within ourselves, and it's been a good team effort.
Revenge factor in this ball game from the game in Denver. Any?
No, actually, the thing that we were playing for was the playoffs, and it wouldn't matter who we were playing today. And so the revenge factor was minimal in comparison to the opportunity to get into the playoffs.
It's awfully satisfying in that, at one point we were 5-6 and had lost 4 in a row. And, I think that it would have been real easy for a team to give up at that point, and we just didn't do that. We just came back and kept working hard and believed in ourselves at a point in time when everybody was, talking about Vinny Testaverde and what the Seahawks needed and everything else. And, so I think that makes it feel awfully good.
One other note on the Seahawks, don't forget the locker room show tonight. That begins at 11:30 following Eyewitness News, a special Saturday night locker room show. One other game today, the New York Giants wrap up home field advantage in the playoffs as long as they keep winning. The Giants won their 14th game against only 2 losses today, beating Green Bay. That final was 55-24. And Phil Simms has had a great year, and that Giant defense is also very, very good. Here, Simms hits Mark Bavaro, good catch, good toss, and the Giants are on the board. Watch the great effort here. The Packers are punting, but Tom Flynn blocks it, turns around, the ball's right there, and he's got it. Run it into the end zone for another Giant score. And later in the game, Simms again, he's in trouble with a Packer defense all over him. They grab him by the shirt, but he gets the ball off to Zeke Moat. One of my favorite names in the NFL. Zeke Moat scores the touchdown. And after that, another Bill Parcells shower. The Gatorade is rained on him. He actually gets a kick out of this. He gets it every time from Harry Carson. Every time the Giants win a ball game, he hopes he probably gets it, about 3 or 4 more times this year. Don't forget the Stars play tonight. They play the LA Lasers down at the Tacoma Dome. We'll send our photographer, Rich Pauly, down there. We'll have highlights of that along with more of the Seahawks' great win today over those always tough John Elway-led Denver Broncos.
I couldn't believe Kurt Warner. I mean, we were like 3 touchdowns ahead, and he'd still, just struggle and through the line and
got to do that.
He's
so tough.
Every ounce of effort he had.
So tough. Leads the AFC in rushing, and when you're doing that, you want to win that title along with having a good season.
Well, everybody will be out celebrating, maybe except him tonight. He'll probably be asleep by 8:30 or 9.
In the whirlpool. In the whirlpool for 3 days.
Okay. Thanks, Gary. Up next, John Collins tells us about a wet forecast, and Larry Sturholm previews tonight's Christmas special.
Hawks as they beat Denver today, 41-16. Now, Ron Callan, like many of you, was at the game and has the complete report.
For Seahawks fans, this game turned out to be an early Christmas present. The Hawks led this one from start to finish, starting with the first quarter Norm Johnson 37-yarder.
We've done all that we can do as far as making a comeback, getting ourselves back on track again. At least I think we have some respectability within ourselves, and it's been a good team effort.
It was Kurt Warner's day, 192 yards and 3 touchdowns. His first 6-pointer from 2 yards out, and the Hawks went up 10-0. But Denver is a master at coming from behind to win the big one. After the teams trade field goals, Elway hits tight end Orson Mobley. He makes a circus catch, and now it's 13-10. But the Hawks get great field position with time running out in the half. Darrell Turner ends up wide open in the end zone with 20-10 Seattle at intermission. Turner and Craig get together again with a perfect timing pass in the corner of the end zone in the third quarter, and now it's 27-10 Seattle.
I never lost confidence in myself. I feel that, I've always had that here. It's just a little momentum thing, that goes the other way, and now it's back to my way, and hopefully it will stay my way all during the playoffs into the Super Bowl.
Steve Largent, another great game, another record breaker. He becomes the first player to have 8 seasons with 1,000 yards or more on pass reception.
We just came back and kept working hard and believed in ourselves at a point in time when everybody was, talking about Vinny Testaverde and what the Seahawks needed and everything else. And, so I think that makes it feel awfully good.
But this day was number 28. He capped the scoring with his 3rd touchdown of the day, a 60-yard scamper. 41-16 the final.
The Seahawks are so high right now. Would you just be feeling like you not make the playoffs?
They're a great team. I'll tell you what, to tell you the truth, I'd like to play them in Denver, which is, if that happens, then they'll have to be up there. So I'd like to get another chance to prove that we're, a better team than them, because we sure didn't show it today.
So the Seahawks accomplished their objective this afternoon, and now they must play the waiting game, waiting to see if they can get the proper kind of help to help them into postseason play. At the Kingdome, Ron Callan, Cairo, Eyewitness Sports.
Thank you, Ron. So with the win now, the hope is that 2 of 3 teams, Kansas City, New England, or Cincinnati, will lose tomorrow or Monday. We asked a couple of the Hawks about watching and waiting to see what happens.
Yeah, it's not the best situation that we could be in, having to depend on somebody else. But, at least that we took care of the part that we needed to take care of, and that was to beat the Broncos.
I'm not going to watch the games tomorrow. I'm going to stay away from it. I think I'll, put on some cable or get a video or something and watch cartoons or something. I'm not going to watch the games.
Yeah, Darrell, I'll believe most things, but watch cartoons instead of One of the game today, the New York Giants wrap up home field advantage of the playoffs for as long as they keep winning. The Giants win their 14th game of the year against only 2 losses. They beat Green Bay 55-24. They did it with some great defense early. And Phil Simms hitting Mark Bavaro. Nice toss, nice catch by Bavaro in between 2 defenders, the somersault, and the Giants are ahead. Look at this effort here. Great by Tom Flynn. Blocks it, turns around, has got it, and is into the end zone as the Giants win today. The Sonics had the night off as we switched to basketball. A full night of NBA action, however, and here are the scores. Indiana beat the New York Knicks, who doesn't, 123-99. Detroit by 10 over Philadelphia. San Antonio loses to Atlanta. It was Utah beating Chicago in the Windy City. Milwaukee wins again tonight. They beat Boston. Boston a little tired after a loss last night. Dallas beat the Lakers 131-19. Denver topped Golden State. That'll help the Supersonics. Washington down the L.A. Clippers. And finally on the board, Sacramento 122 and Phoenix 114. Stars had no trouble with the L.A. Lasers tonight. Down in the Tacoma Dome, they remain in first place with a 5-2 win. Watch the bottom left of the screen as Gary Heel will get the ball and kick it off the defender's leg and into the back of the net. Now, as we switch to the other side, watch the right side. That's Godfrey Ingram to Jungle, and Jungle puts it in. The Stars win it tonight, as I said, 5-2. The Stars are really rolling. They are 9-2 on the season. Don't forget a special locker room show with Wayne Cody follows Eyewitness News. And I'm off to El Paso tomorrow for 5 days coverage of the Huskies and Alabama. Should be a dandy time. So before I go, let me wish each and every one of you a very Merry Christmas, and the same to you.
You can go on one condition.
I can?
That you do not come back with a tan.
It's only about 50 degrees. Ask John Collins about that. But it's cold on there. It's in the 20s down there. And it's going to be work.
Good.
And I'm not going to Rosa's Cantina.
Not again this year. They won't let you back in. Speaking of John Collins, he's up right next to tell us the forecast, because still to come this weekend is winter. And if you're getting out of town...
The Grabs seem to have a mind of their own. So get the one that cleans where it's supposed to clean. Get Reynolds Plastic-Grab before yours gets out of hand.
BBC Dodge, Seattle's Dodge dealer since 1962. Same owner, same location, featuring the all-new Dodge Shadow with base price of $74.99 and Raider four-wheel drive with a base price of $10,317. American-built cars and trucks with 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty. Plus, ask our salespeople about financing as low as 3.9 annual percentage rate or rebates up to $500. BBC Dodge and Burien, where we proudly sell Dodge and only Dodge.
Very hot. Definitely hot. Dempsey and Makepeace.
Dempsey and Makepeace, Saturday at 7 on Cairo TV.
Tonight's sports is sponsored by the Western Washington Chevy All-Stars. Well, the football bowl season is certainly in full swing. 2 more games today, and both involving Pac-10 teams. Now, 1 winner and 1 loser out of the Pac-10. Here's the loser, Stanford, beaten in the Gator Bowl. 27-21, Ray Williams sweeps on the reverse here and is in for the Gator Bowl Clemson winners. And Brad Muster had a great day for the Cardinal despite...
Well, I don't know if Seahawks fans ever got so emotionally involved in a game that didn't involve the Seahawks.
You know, that's true. They've got to still be sitting around, everybody shaking their heads saying, now the New York Jets lose 5 games in a row and really play awful football for 5 weeks. The Seahawks beat 5 fairly decent clubs, play the best that they can play. The Jets are in and we're out. That's what the Hawks fans are going through today. Oh, my. The Hawks will be home for the holidays, as we all well know. They played so well the last 5 weeks, especially against the Raiders in Denver. They really deserve to make the playoffs, but they will not. Kurt Warner deserves attention. 192 yards on Saturday and a couple of TDs. Kurt was mobbed by photogs after the game. Now, he will, of course, play in the Pro Bowl next month over in Hawaii, but he really would have liked to have played next Sunday in a playoff game against anybody. Instead, well, he'll be running his golf business and probably watching some TV.
But we played well, and I don't think we have anything to be upset about.
L.A. Clipper lead and beat the Clippers 113-107. And Coach Bernie Bickerstaff gave most of the credit to Maurice Lucas for his leadership. Give this guy some credit, too. There's Maurice heading it out to Dale Ellis. Ellis had 14 in the fourth quarter. Cuts the Clipper lead to 2 right there. The X-Man shot and the follow after the miss cuts it to just 1. Sonics take the lead at 101-100 when Ellis gets the ball again, fires it up and hits. And after the Clippers miss, Ellis hits for 2 more. Watch here as he gets the ball on the bang down of the quarter, and the Supersonics win it 113-107. As I said, the coach likes Maurice Lucas's leadership.
His leadership manifested itself, down the stretch, and well, during the course of the game, he did all the little things that you must do to win a basketball game. A lot of times, our team has not matured yet as a basketball team, and a lot of times we think that the answer is to take it and go one-on-one, so I can bail the team out that way. And we've got too many offensive people for that. I thought Lucas settled us down in that respect.
It's important that I come in and provide some scoring as well as some defense and as well as some rebounding, getting the ball out, making some good passes, and those are some of the things that we like coming off the bench, and that's my role.
Big Bo Lucas doing a nice job. Sonics have their sights set on second place in the Pacific Division tomorrow night when they take on Portland in the Coliseum. That game starts at 6 o'clock. The Blazers have a half-game lead on Seattle, so it should be a dandy. Once again, game time in the Coliseum is 6. Husky basketball team is on the road tonight. They take on Andy Russo's old team, the one he came from about a year and a half ago in the Far West Classic in Portland. They take on Louisiana Tech. The game begins as part of a doubleheader at 9 o'clock, and can be heard on KIRO News Radio 71 with Pete Gross calling the action. And the other big game tonight is just down the road a few miles. Tacoma Stars in action against the San Diego team. That is at 7:35. The Stars, last I checked, were about 11-2 and having a sensational season. But I've been gone to El Paso this past week.
How was it down there?
Oh, just delightful.
Was it?
Just delightful. I mean, all we did was work.
Oh, sure. You must be looking good because, of course, I told Gary earlier, this lady called up and said that she thought Gary was so handsome that he could be a model.
My mother's in town. She is in town.
No,
she fooled you.
This wasn't your mother, but she did have one extra.
Side?
It's not feeling too good, but it's great to be out here and looking forward to playing a good Washington.
Your favorite restaurant? Remember how great Gay's rolls and bread tasted, heated in the kitchen and kept warm at your table. So doesn't it make sense to warm your Gay's French bread and rolls at home? Simply heat them in a hot, dry oven at 375 degrees and enjoy that wonderful taste and texture. Just that warm feeling with locally baked Gay's bread and rolls.
You know that it's good when it's Gay.
Part of the spirit that built this country is getting $1's worth of value for $1. And you get that in spades at your Northwest Chrysler Plymouth dealers.
That's where you'll find great deals on Plymouth Reliant, Voyager, and the all-new Sundance. And remember, 86 is the last year to claim hundreds in state sales tax deductions on new Chrysler or Plymouth purchases.
Get real value. Born in America, that's Plymouth.
See your Northwest Chrysler Plymouth dealer now.
Gary was just telling me there was a great soccer game tonight.
Yeah, 2 overtimes. Can you get any better than that? Not really,
much.
unless you won the lottery tonight. I didn't, as you said. Tacoma Stars continue to play exciting soccer tonight. They went to double overtime and beat San Diego 6-5. Steve Jungle with a winning goal in the second overtime. Take a look at the highlights. They're fun. Stars lead after Preki hits one into the back of the net. Tacoma leads 1-0. There's Jungle, number 7. He centers the pass over to Ralph Black, who hits the back of the net. And the Sockers trail 2-1 behind the Stars. But San Diego battles back and gets 4 goals, 3 of those by Bronco Segota. Here, Bronco makes it 4-2 San Diego. But let me tell you, the Stars hang right in there. They keep battling. Watch Godfrey Ingram bang it into the back of the net, 4-3 San Diego. San Diego leading 5-4. Time is running out. Ralph Black with the ball, and it bangs off Gary Heel. And the game is tied at 5. We go into the second overtime. Watch the center of the screen. That is number 7, Jungle. Fancy footwork by the guy, and the Stars win in double overtime tonight. And boy, do they know how to celebrate. The final, once again, is 6-5. The Stars are really rolling. On to football. The bowl season in full swing around the holidays especially. 2 more games today, both involving Pac-10 teams. 1 winner and 1 loser. Clemson kicking off here. Watch what happens. This is Thomas Henley. Boom, the ball gets away from Henley. He fumbles, Clemson recovers, and the crowd goes crazy because that leads to this play. Watch Ray Williams on the reverse. Williams with a big sweep coming your way, number 45 into the end zone after a nice block there, and Clemson wins 27-21 today over Stanford. North Carolina 30-21 losers to Arizona. Alfred Jenkins for Arizona hits the touchdown there, and they also get a touchdown late from Art Greenhouse, the freshman. And the final again is 30-21. Arizona wins their game today. Well, the NFL playoffs begin tomorrow morning about 9:30. Todd Blackledge warming up today. He'll face the New York Jets. A light workout today by the Chiefs. Bill Kenny will not start. He's in the whirlpool. He's been there most of the week. One other guy that will return to the Kansas City lineup is this guy, Carlos Carson, after missing about 4 weeks with an injury. The Jets will start Pat Ryan in place of Ken O'Brien, who has fallen on hard times. Why are you going to start, Pat?
I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. I think maybe you guys know I'm not very good, so they play harder for me.
One other NFL note tonight, former Philadelphia coach Dick Vermeil has turned down the head coaching job with Atlanta. Vermeil called it, and I quote, a very appealing offer. And he went on to say he is not ready to end his 4-year coaching retirement. Vermeil currently is working in a nice soft job. He's a CBS analyst and a sports guy. Why would you want to go out and coach when you can read the scores? Not me. By the way, tomorrow's second game, the LA Rams and the Washington Redskins begins at 12:30 right here on Cairo Television and CBS. Husky game just over with Louisiana Tech, and I mean just seconds to go. The final 88-87. The Huskies blew an 11-point lead with 2 minutes and 26 seconds to go and lose to Louisiana Tech, Andy Russo's old school, 88-87. Chris Belp had 35 tonight in a losing cause. One other local score, Seattle Pacific beat PLU 92-82. Supersonics off tonight before they take on Portland tomorrow night and the Coliseum at 6. A Sonic win over the Blazers would put the surprising Sonics in second place in the Pacific Division behind the Lakers. A 10-game schedule played tonight. We'll quickly check out all the scores. Larry Bird had 26. Kevin McHale had 27. And look at Boston beat the Clippers 114-101. Philadelphia back on the winning track, 99-95 winner over Sacramento. Is Houston falling on hard times or what? They lose again tonight. Utah beats them 103-96. Denver in a real shootout. A lot of points, 108-106 over San Antonio. Dallas is a winner tonight over Phoenix, 123-97. Michael Jordan had 44 points and had the flu tonight. And Chicago beat Indiana 105-93. Golden State loses to Atlanta. It was Washington losing to Detroit. But somebody break up the Knicks. They won 3 in a row. They beat Jack Sickman, the Milwaukee Bucks, tonight for their third win in a row, 114-100. And Jersey beat Cleveland 120-111. Don't forget the NFL wild card playoffs start tomorrow with the Jets in Kansas City at 9:30, followed by our game, the Rams and the Redskins, at 12:30 with the NFL Today. And my pal Brent Musburger.
Your pal.
Yeah, we talked down at the El Paso.
You did.
So now we're pals.
44 points in the flu, huh? What does he do when he's feeling well?
Well, he probably scores 45. He's leading the NBA in points, and yeah, he had just a routine night at the office. 44 points, then complained of the flu.
Okay, thanks, Gary.
He gets more money that way, as though he needs it.
Well, people might be complaining of the flu around here if they get much more weather like we've been getting. John Collins will be by to talk about that.
A right from Marciano sent Archie Moore to the canvas. Archie admitted to being 39. Many said he was really 42. Now he felt even older. Rocky hammered him to the mat again. But Archie Moore never gave up, and somehow he survived this moment.